What is going on, guys? We are actually back on the road, headed back down to North Carolina to finally pick up the P51 and the Razor RSF650. I've had Tapia hold on to them so that way he can make custom seats and a custom storage compartment for the P51, and they're finally done. And I have all my Razer upgrade parts waiting for me at the house, just waiting for the bike to come back and we can throw it on. But first we gotta get the bike repainted so it's looking brand new. But let me go ahead. I got like 2.5 hours left to get to High Point, Tapia Seats. So I'll see you guys when I get there, and let's see what he cooked up for my bikes. There it is. Look at that. It's a snug fit in there. It took a minute to install it. New seat. And it does not hit the chain or anything. Just barely. Looks so good. Let me do a video to explain it better, but it goes right in the frame. It's a snug fit. We had to like kind of use a rubber mallet to hammer it in there, but it's a snug fit. It doesn't move around at all, but this panel right here, it's kind of kept on by these sort of magnet clamps sort of thing that are attached right there to the inside. So you can just pop it in and it snaps in. He said if I want to, I could add like a little key lock here, and I can just do that on my own and get it from Home Depot, but it's an empty space right there. I have the charger in there. It has like this felt interior as well. And just like that. So over here, it's like you can really open it from one side right there. The other side, it's just a blank wall. Can't open it on that end. But all in all, for this is like the first iteration, if you will. I'm sure there's like ways that it could be improved upon, but I ain't mad. You know, this having, you know, a frame bag on my RX is awesome. So I've always hoped that a frame box for the P51 was a thing, and it is now. And of course the seat as well. All right, as you can see, I'm finally back home. I took a pit stop in Richmond, so I stayed an extra day traveling home, but we have the mini Moto back in the house. As you can see here, a super duper of an upgraded seat from Tapia Seats right now. I did try to keep the paint scheme somewhat similar. Let me show you like the idea that I had behind it. Okay, I'm gonna take this whole bike apart so I can get the frame repainted, but just use your imagination, okay? So stock, it's just this stock seat and this rear tail fender, whatever you want to call it. I gave the bike to Tapia and I said, look, I'm going to restore this. I want to try and keep the color as accurate as possible when I restore it. All I want, and I don't know how you want to do it, Tapia, I'm leaving my trust into you, is a Surron type style seat, because a lot of people with these bikes get a Surron seat to upgrade it for comfort. But black in the front, matching green in the back. So that way it's somewhat resembling the stock setup right here. And honestly, I think he did a phenomenal job. I mean, going from, I guess, that right there to that right there, way more comfortable, way more plush, and a lot more room to sit up and down on. I'm excited to bring this bike back to life. I do have to strip it of, one, the parts, but two, for the frame, so I can get that repainted, because I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but right there, you can kind of see there's like a two-tone of green from like this faded sun damage to where the sun don't shine, if you will. But right over here, and as you can see, I got the P51 back as well. I'll talk about that in a minute, but that pile of boxes right there, all upgrade parts for this bike right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and strip it right now of just the frame, give the frame to my neighbor who has an auto body shop. He'll repaint it for me. I'll get it back. I'll put all the upgrades on, probably with either my friend Mario or Brooks fixing stuff, because I bought the bike from him and I at least want to give him the pleasure of upgrading it with me. And then hopefully by the end of this week, I can go up to New York or New Jersey and give it to Powerful Lithium, and they can build a battery right there and I'll be good to go. So let's get to taking this bike apart. Oh, and one more thing. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but you can kind of see the swing arm here is a little bit dirty, not so much rusty, kind of gunky. I don't know what the right wording is. So just in case, I did actually also buy off of Facebook a second swing arm and handlebar. This one looks a lot nicer and a lot more maintained, if you will. So if anything, I'm probably going to swap out that one that's on the arm or on the bike with this one here. So that way it still has at least some a newer swing arm. But either way, let me go ahead and ship the bike. I needed to take a break because one, it's super hot. Two, I've been pretty much driving all weekend to get my P51 and my Razor back. As soon as I got home, I started stripping the Razor so that way I can give the frame to my neighbor to get it painted. So that should be done in a couple of days, but just in time for me to put it back together and then give it to Powerful Lithium so they can build a battery for it. Since I don't think I've ever done Razer batteries before, so hopefully I'm the first one. But in the meantime, let's go over some of the parts, not some of, all of the parts except for the battery that I'm gonna be putting on my Razer. Everything actually is from Electro Co, and actually have a discount code with them now. Put it up on screen or in the description down below. I believe it's Chavez 5, so you can get a discount if you want to build your own Razer. But let's go ahead and go over everything that's going on the bike. The frame to my neighbor, he's gonna go ahead and paint it for me and get it back later this week. But for now, that's what we got. Rear swing arm. I zoomed in all the way, I'm sorry. Rear swing arm, front stuff, but all the parts, front fork, motor, controller, brakes, adapters are all right there. All right, so first thing we have here is the new seat from Tapia Seats. I've been pretty much talking about this seat on Facebook groups and online and everything ever since I got it done and I got photos of it. It's kind of based off of a Surron style seat because I see a lot of people with Razors get a Surron seat and then put it on. They just need the adapter. But for this one, it's a lot cushier, it's a lot more comfortable, and you don't need the adapter. The bolts are long enough to go through the frame and into the seat itself. If you guys want to get a seat like this for your Razor RSF650, I have a discount code in the description down below. Trust me, it is the best decision you'll make when it comes to riding with comfort. So while I know what's in all of these boxes, I don't know what is in each specific box. I know we have the front forks, handlebars, motor controller, suspension, brakes, and some adapters for the RSF wheels. But let's go ahead and just crack these open and see what's what. All right, so in this first one, we have, wow, a beefy suspension. A D&M 450-pound suspension for the rear shock. You have some adjustments right here at the bottom. Let me see something real quick. So just taking a look at the other suspension, the stock one, it's the same length, but this one just feels and looks way beefier stock. I mean, obviously these are kids' bikes, so the suspension that's stock on the bike is probably meant for someone who's like, what, 100 pounds? But this, you know, is for the big boys. It goes up to 450, so this one should definitely prevent me from feeling like I'm bottoming out the suspension just by sitting on it. This one is just some adapters for the RSF650 wheels to put on the fork, so nuts and bolts in here. This one, I believe, is all of the brake components. So we have rear sprocket. I forget which one I got. I'll leave it on screen or in the description. New chain tensioner, and front sprocket for the motor. Here are everything I need for the cables. I got the zoom brakes that they have on the site. And of course, Electro Co sticker. Again, I know I'm kind of going through these pretty fast. I ordered all of this stuff like a month and a half ago. So off the top of my head, I don't exactly remember what's what. But again, I'll leave everything in the description down below with links so that way you guys can look it up for yourself. Now this one here is an interesting one. So I know this one has a motor and controller in it. When I placed my order, I thought I was going to get an EC4P motor, but ever since then, they actually upgraded. Electro Co basically upgraded everyone's motor if you guys are waiting for EC4P. So again, some information and stickers, always fun to have. In here we have, oh, it's the controller. Yes, so we have the true Moto. I believe this is the noisy cricket controller. Fun fact, I got a buddy of mine who has this same controller on his Surron, which I didn't know you could do that. But hey, good to know. So this is what we're going to be running on the bike. We also have a key ignition and voltmeter. Full twist throttle with 3 power modes. A mounting bracket, which I don't think I need for my bike, but hey, it's good to have just in case. But this is what I want to see. No, I cut it by accident. No, 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 no. This is the Electro Co, the One motor. In terms of specifics, I don't know what the difference is exactly between this and the EC4P or even the EC5P. I'll put it up on screen so that way you guys can look into it. But I'm just happy to finally have a motor to put on the bike and finally get this thing going. So let's put that back for now. And last but certainly not least, we've got handlebars and upgraded front forks. And it looks like they sent over an off-road tire and a disc brake, front number plate, front fender. Huh. You know, I could have sworn I selected the RSF options on here. I don't know why it sent a dirt tire, but hey, not a bad thing to have. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're rocking with. So now I just gotta wait for the frame to come back, and then we're good to go and put all of this stuff on the bike. Got the rear wheel, the sprocket, the chain tensioner, and the new motor on. I just don't know how to break a chain, so I'm waiting for a friend to do that tomorrow. But that, I get the frame back tomorrow from getting painted, and then we're good to go for Powerful Lithium. And here we are, basically 90% complete. Couldn't figure out how to work with the chain. I'll see if Powerful Lithium can do that. Missing a battery, didn't mess with the phase wires. I want to try and have everything kind of put in the tank here so it's kind of like clean and sorted out. Brakes and wheels, I think I got them. I'll see if they can, you know, tune those up as well. And I got the handlebars. So that is how we're looking. Now to give it to Powerful Lithium, see what they can do, get it back. And after so many years of me wanting to do this, it's finally done. Let's fucking go!